What's up guys, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. I am Goki and today we're going to be taking a look at another tier list I've created. Now, I made a tier list previously that was based on the entire game. This is going to be based on the DPSs that you might be using in Abyss. Now, this covers some 4 stars and some 5 stars. Mainly a lot of the 5 stars. I'm going to include the main hero in this one and show you guys exactly how strong they are to carry. So, for the sake of this, I'm not going to include all-arounders, kind of like Jean, Bennett, Chongyun. While they are fantastic in Abyss and they're very good, they do not technically carry the team. They do well healing the team and creating a lot of utility, sort of like Venti. I'm gonna put Venti in here as like disclaimer. He is a support unit more than he is an offensive unit. He is there to spam his E and spam his Q. Not that you can't make a very offensive Venti, you can, but he's not going to be as effective as some of these other units. So with all that being said, let's get right into the video. All right, here we are. W, activate Windows. Here we go. Just a tad bit so you guys wouldn't have to see it. I had to cut that out real quick. So these are the suspects. I'm going to count Fischl because she is way too flexible. She can go on a DPS offensive role. We've seen multiple videos of this. Ningguang, obviously, Childe or Tataglia. We have Beidou. We have Kiking or Kikin. Or Kichin. We have Diluc, we have Razor, Mona, we have Klee, and we have the main hero, because the main hero is a jack of all trades and he is flexible, but a lot of you are going to have him as a supply. And I did say to build this unit because this unit is going to be one of the most flexible units in the game, and you never know when they are going to give him an all-around offensive set of constellations to benefit you in the game. So let's go ahead and cut the fat. We're gonna take the last character that came out recently and rank them last, but for the most part we're gonna start ranking these in how I believe. So for decent carries, we're just going to stick the main character here. He is a decent carry, he's not a very good carry. There are some things that keep them from being a very good damage carry, but they do have good crowd control with the Twister and their elemental skill. But overall, a unit that needs no introduction. Very good unit overall once you build them. Free resources, easy to build, should be one of your characters. It helps your adventure book a lot, makes it a lot cheaper to go through, and they're not picky with the set or artifact set that they use. They can go with Verdurescent, even Gladiator, maybe Noblesse. There's a lot of flexibility when it comes to the hero, so it makes them a pretty decent carry if you decide to invest offensively into the character. Next, we have in line, we have Klee. Now Klee is an Abyss god. You'll see things in general. Klee can clear rooms on her own. It doesn't matter if her damage is lower than Diluc or Kaching. Her bomb, her traps, her setups are the things that carry this, or this character can use to effectively carry her teammates to complete success. Like, you can dominate Abyss with this character as long as you have proper technique and handling of Klee's abilities. So overall, she is an Abyss god. She's very, 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 very powerful. Next, we have Mona. So Mona is a very, very good carry. Now, I wouldn't say she's an Abyss god, right, or goddess, right, but she is powerful. She has really good elemental burst damage, and she has very good elemental skill abilities. So with those two in mind, what stops her from being a best DPS damage? Well, for the most part, water doesn't create a very good crowd control system. Now, you could say that with everything, like in a really green, but I feel like Klee just outweighs her as a catalyst user, and you're gonna see another one in a second why she outshines this character as a DPS carry. For the most part, Mona does not skimp on damage. She just needs a little more of a skill hand to play, and because of it, it lands her in a very good tier, or like, let's say this is S tier. This is decent carry is A tier, Monka S is probably B tier, is kind of, you know, Monka W is just, you don't want to probably use this character. I didn't put any of those nonsense right there, A, B, C, whatever, so no, whatever, right? So no one's going to be like, Ree! So we're going to have a character that's just kind of like Nikali, you know, he's just like devour our. His elemental burst is really powerful. It allows him to clear the room very quickly. It is one of the few increases in his speed, in attack speed increase, and he also has a constellation that allows him to decrease defense just like Klee. It allows him to clear rooms very frequently, very quickly. His uptime on his ult is very much so, like infinitely, and if you do end up using your ult, is very quickly adjustable and rechargeable via your elemental skill. For that, I'm gonna put Razor in an Abyss God. He's just way too powerful, and he can manhandle a lot of rooms by himself. So the King of Abyss, or currently the King of Abyss, I'm gonna have a hot take here, but Diluc is definitely the one and only Abyss God. He is powerful. He is easy to use. His set just screams, "This is my set," in your face. He can ramp damage a lot faster than Klee, and he's a Claymore user, so he can bust shields down, and most of the time they're wooden shields. This character is literally the definition of carrying Abyss. You pull this character, you can clear abysses a good 10 levels above this character's level and still be able to clear them pretty easily. This character is very strong. It depends on the type of investment, but there are characters that can match his damage eventually. But for the most part, Diluc is scaled above, slightly above everyone else. Like, he is very efficient for the most part. From floors 1 to 9, he can do things very effectively, even though he's lower level than the current floor he's playing. So, Miss Keqing, she's powerful. She has a good elemental burst, and she has a good elemental skill. The only thing she hampers on is exploration. If you've noticed, a lot of these characters hamper on exploration except for a few. She is powerful, she is relentless, and she's a little on the very good strong side. Honestly, she is in between for me. Like, if I could put her in the middle, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this real quick. We're gonna add a row below, and we're going to call them Abyss Demigod. Right? We're gonna call him Abyss Demigod, and we're gonna make it orange, right? Okay. Oh wait, no, we're supposed to fix this. We're gonna Abyss God, right? And then we're going to make this we're gonna make this orange as well, right? Let me go ahead and make this real quick orange. I'm gonna call this. Now, Keqing is powerful, but she requires a little more investment than the other characters. Swords have a funky way of having less multiplier than claymores and not chunky enough damage to get through shields in Abyss, right? Catalysts can do those very well. The thing about Keqing is she prides herself on tons of critical damage, a lot of critical hits. She can clear mobs, she can zap around the field, and her elemental burst is very good for that. She has her weaknesses, being a sword wielder. Sword wielders are kind of on the weak side when it comes to Abyss, but overall, she is a very powerful one at that, and she is very good for Abyss. She is an Abyss Demigod. I'm not going to give her 100% Abyss God status. She can match Diluc's damage, but she cannot match the utility of a Claymore. So, therefore, she's going to be landing in Abyss Demigod. That doesn't take away from her strength at all. It just means that, for the most part, she can't handle some things that they can't handle, and that is it. She's still a very, very powerful character, and it's really hard to say. King or King. I don't know what her name is. So, on to the next character, Beidou. She can go up to level 80. We've seen it in CBTs. She's a very powerful character. She's a very good carry. She has counter damage and she can play reactively. Now, as a main DPS, she falls short to some of these characters. Like Razor, for example, is a better main DPS than she is, but she is a better reactive DPS than he is. So there's a lot of things going for Beidou over Razor, but the reason why she sits here is because Razor is just good at mobbing in general. She just requires a little more setup, so that lands her in very good tier. She's a very good character to use. You guys should use her. If you pulled her on this banner, she is worth it. Any character on this list is actually worth building and using. I'm just tearing them out so that you guys can know how much investment you actually have to put into the character to get the maximum out. So starting from hero, you're gonna have to put quite more in than Beidou or Mona, or Keqing. You're gonna have to put a little bit more in to match Diluc, Klee, and Razor. And for those top 3 characters on the very top, you have to put in less. So the next one is Fischl. She is the quintessential 4-star Abyss god, and honestly I think she's better than Klee. She has been touted as the best character for absolutely few reasons, but those reasons are so obvious and clear cut that it makes no sense to put this character below anything else. She creates space. She casts Oz. Oz creates damage. Oz is like having 2 Fischls on the team at the same time, or 2 Fischls on the floor at the same time doing damage. When she goes away, she's still there doing damage through Oz. If you're using Diluc, you can create overloads with Oz, and so on and so forth. This character, regardless of how much damage she can do compared to other characters, the fact that she can create a clone of herself to do effectively the same amount of damage she's normally doing is absolutely insane. Oz can also heal. He can't heal her. She can also just redirect Oz, place him in different placements, switch in, switch out, so on and so forth. Very, 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 very powerful character, not to be underestimated. One of the best characters to go into Abyss with, and she is a 4-star. If you guys hang on, we'll be getting one for free starting on the 16th. You're gonna have a quest to do, and you could potentially get a free Fischl. Don't wait on it. Free-to-play players who are now coming into this game, jump on that right now. And lastly, Ningguang. Now, she is a very, very good carry, but I think because of her damage, she should be in Demigod. But the issue is, she cannot do funky things like Beidou to make herself invincible, or counter the damage, or cast a Q to go invincible, or cast your eagle, or cast your bird while you're zipping around the screen and still doing damage while being evasive, or can't throw bombs like a madman and crowd control. Right? She can crowd control very well, but you know, Klee, she does some good amounts of damage. Now, she's one of the better DPSs in the game. It's one of her things, but she fundamentally requires a little bit more than some of these other characters to get going. And I personally believe if she was to be Abyss Demigod, you're considering her at C1 with her AoE constellation equipped. So if you guys are thinking that you have a C1 Ningguang and you can AoE mob just fine, then this is her nestled home. But at C0, I think she's right here. I think she's a very, very good carry. She just can't mob as well as she would if she had Constellation 1. Most of you guys are going to have at least one Constellation if you summon on this banner. So I'm going to leave her Abyss Demigod for now. But please note, asterisk, that she is here at C0. She's here at very good carry. So, Lastly but not least, this character is absolutely insane for Abyss. Not to mention, water is a valuable unit. Now you're like, but Goki, why'd you put Mona so below? Because this character blows her damage out the water. Childe is insane, and he's a powerful unit. He is powerful at C0, and he's powerful at C6, and he's scales with Mona as well. Mona at C0, C6. Childe is still ahead of her at C0, C6. It doesn't matter where he's at. He's a powerful unit. And there's a litany of bows that are very, very strong in the game, especially free-to-play ones. Even blue ones. Childe also can guarantee crit damage because of ranged shots. There's a lot of perks to the character that other water characters don't have. He is absolutely insane, and he is in fact an Abyss god. I think that he is the new king of Abyss. Why? Because there are floors, or a floor that he can clear that Diluc cannot, or Diluc has a hard time clearing because he needs a water unit to help him. He also has some of the best damage abilities in the game, stacking all his effects such as Riptide and Torrent, and his weapons are pretty easy to come by in the form of Prototype Crescent and Compound Bow, although you probably, if you're DPSing official, you give her the Compound Bow and him the Prototype Crescent. And he's very straightforward to build with a lot of flexibility. Noblesse Oblige, Gambler set to reset your melee cooldown almost infinitely, because the 15 second cooldown, there's the 30-second cooldown on the other thing, so it changes every time. And then you have the obvious Wandering Troop set, which is not really a best slot, but it's more like a best general set for him. Yeah, he's powerful. He's absolutely painstakingly powerful. You know what? For the sake of it, I'm going to put her up here. But yeah, for the most part, this is your DPS carries. For the most part, I think other characters are not necessarily DPS carries, but I think what happens is once Zhongli comes out, I think Zhongli enters this realm somewhere around here, Ningguang will not see less play, but she will seem less powerful compared to him, and it will scale the list accordingly. But I will always be updating my list so that you guys can see how I feel about these current units in the game. And for the most part, I own most of these except Klee, Zhongli because he hasn't come out yet, and Kaching. But I do have other accounts that I've played with them before, free-to-play accounts that I've gotten pretty lucky on. So I know how they play, I know how they function for the most part. I just don't use them as my main account. I just play with them, get them to a high level, see how they feel, and then I jump back on my main to use it. But yeah, this is how I feel once Zhongli comes out. This is going to make the splash, but for now he's going to be sitting over here just waiting for his limelight to show that what he can do as a DPS. I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list breakdown. Another second video, super long, Monka-esque. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. If you guys enjoyed the content, if you want to see more of these things, don't forget to go ahead and hit that red sub button. It will let you know when my next video is out. I want to thank you guys once again for watching, and as always, adventure on. Peace out. See you guys in the next one.